All right, folks, welcome to another episode of the Abundant Will podcast. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes, see if anybody joins in here, and then we'll get rolling. Okay. All right, so welcome to the Abundant Will podcast, episode 17. We're getting pretty close to the surgery date. I got a pretty busy week. Tomorrow I have to go to dialysis and get some blood drawn. And then Wednesday I have to go to Northwestern for the pre-op thing. And then the following Thursday is the date. So man, we're getting close. Um, I'm getting excited. Um, I just, man, I, I can't wait. I can't wait for this to happen. So I'm very, very grateful, very thankful, and things like that. So, for today, I kind of wanted to talk about we have to start understanding and learning and knowing um how powerful we are, and we have to start feeding um the right the light within us instead of the darkness and the flesh and all this kind of stuff, right? So let me just throw it out there. I mean, th- anybody anybody out there, does anybody doubt that there is a creator of this here, a creator of all? Because here's my point. All right, if the sun was any bigger, things wouldn't work out. If Earth was a little closer or a little farther, if gravity was just a little bit more or a little bit less, I mean, everything is just perfect, right? And every every single thing around you is conscious and made up of atoms. So that that's all there really is just it's just consciousness everywhere. Okay. And before I dive into it real quick, I just wanted to kind of throw a couple examples out there of like what I'm talking about. So uh previous episodes and things like that, I've discussed how you can't be living in lack or fear or frustration or anything like that. Well, this is just an example. The other day, me and Jill, since we've both been off, we've been like working on studio quite a bit. It's almost done. We're getting close. And we ordered a new bed and things. So we were doing a bunch of stuff in the living room, and she was talking on the phone with her sister, and she had it on speaker, and I was listening, and then we hopped in the truck and went to Menards. So she was on the phone with her for like 45 minutes. And the whole entire time, her sister was just um, kind of, she was talking about something that had happened a day or two ago. And it clicked in my head because I just saw it there, like in perfect action. So she was complaining and yelling at Jill about how her ex and his wife treated her when she was dropping her kid off and things like that. And you could tell like she was angry and frustrated and probably still hurt or things like that. And she had said something that kind of caught my ear. Is I heard her say like, yeah, I was talking to our other sister about this for 45 minutes the other day and somebody else. So I was thinking in my head, I'm like, so for 3 days she has been reliving what happened 3 days ago, uh, with anger, frustration, and she's constantly talking about it, revisiting those feelings, bringing that stuff up, projecting that stuff out into the universe, and then you wonder why things don't work out for you. You can't be focused on stuff like that. You just gotta be, and this is what I'm trying to do, is trying to get everybody here by just sharing what I've been going through and the information that I found and things like that. Is you you can't be doing that, because you're just going to create more of what you don't want by focusing on it, by reliving that feeling, all that kind of stuff, right? So, I mean, that it's just an example. And another thing I'm seeing is like a lot of people are hurting. I got a text message today that one of the pipe fitters that we work with and stuff, you know, uh, I guess from the information that we got, he took his life. And that's like, I think it's like the second or third one in like uh 2 months. You know, it, that's not good, man. It's just there's too much hurt, there's too much anxiety, there's way too much fear. We have to start understanding that all the answers are within us, man, and all the power is within you. You have the power and you have the answer to anything and everything that you've ever questioned. It's all right here and right here. You have to learn to sit with yourself and get to know yourself. So let me uh let me kind of get into it here a little bit. Okay. I'm going to do my best to show you how powerful you are, and that God, the creator of all, source, whatever you want to call it, has put his fingerprint and his marker on every single one of us. We all have the potential to be great and to be a Christ. And I'm going to try to do my best to convey that to you here. And I have a book here with just some pictures and stuff like that, because obviously I don't have the studio hooked up yet. And but when I do, I'm hoping that I could just like pull it up on the computer and things like that. But I'm not that far yet, and I'm still learning. Uh, Check this out. I forgot about this, but I'll tell you guys this real quick before we get into it real quick too. So the other day I was like, you upload a video, and then you put out a couple shorts, and you try and get people to your video by putting out shorts and stuff like that. So I put them out, and I've been putting them out for a long time now, and, like, some of them I will get, like, 1,500 views on, and then others I would get, like, 2 or 5, and I'm like, "What the heck is going on? I don't understand this." And I didn't think anything of it. I'm just whatever, so I'm scrolling through the YouTubes just kinda looking around, and I come across this short that says, if you, if you wanna get more subscribers or more views, you have to put these settings on, and I'm like, "Hmm." So I'm going on my phone and I'm trying to, do the settings, and it doesn't have what the guy was showing me on the YouTube. So I'm like, What's going on here?" So I asked Jill, I'm like, "Jill, what's the deal here?" And she goes, well, why don't you try it from the laptop? Why don't you try it from your computer?" I'm like, "Okay." Well, when we did that, we figured everything out, and I get you could put like keywords in, so when people search, your stuff pops up. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know any of that. But if you don't know, you don't know. And what you don't know, I mean, so knowledge, you got to consume it. All right. All right. So with that being said, um, I'm just going to say this really quick about it, and then I'm just going to leave it alone because I don't want to make anybody angry or turn anybody the other way or anything like that. Okay. But Western civilization and organized religion, I think, have let us down a little bit, and they've become kind of dangerous because what they've done is they forced us to set expectations to mold ourselves to kind of fit this certain critique or certain thing. And if you read and study, the scriptures, and hey, man, every time I read them, I get almost a completely kind of different thing or a different understanding or perspective about it. Mostly because every time so every day I'm trying to get better, right? I'm just trying to be filled with more light and more love and more truth and gratitude and understanding and all that, right? So I mean, so as I'm reading the scriptures and I'm going through it, it's changing for me because every day I'm trying to change and I'm trying to become a little bit more enlightened and things like that, right? So all I would highly suggest is, I mean, you, you have to continue to read and continue to study this stuff. Okay. It's not just a one and done thing. It's not. Because there's a lot to go through and there's a lot of ways you could interpret it and things like that. Okay. So, all right. So you are made of stardust and light. You are you're a star, man. You are. Every single atom in your body has the spark of the divine in it, therefore making you divine. Am I saying that you are the creator of all? No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that everything that makes you up has that spark and that divine creation in it. Therefore, to a certain aspect, I mean, you're a god too, and you're a creator because you are creating your life every second of the day with every action, with every word, with every thought, with everything. Because before anything could be anything, it had to be a thought, right? So yeah. So you are a god, all right? And here's where we're gonna get into it a little bit. Because I'm gonna show you some stuff. And this just so everybody knows, this is the Book of Wisdom. I think he's got and this is a good book, man. There's a lot of good stuff in here. He breaks a lot of everything down. And I believe he's got another book called the Book of Wisdom too. I haven't gotten that one yet, but I will. Okay, so yeah, all right. Just give me a second here. Let me find it. All right. So I know you're probably not going to be able to see this very good. Okay. Hold on. All right, right there. That is Solomon's temple, and that is your body. Okay. All right. So follow me. Hold on one second. Now, at the base of your spine, you got what is called it's basically the 7 chakras. All right, 7's an important number. 7 days of creation, the 7 chakras, the 7 elements of nature: earth, fire, water, air, spirit, ether, darkness, the 7 planets, the 7 colors. Okay. And I thought I marked out what page this was on. Mm-hmm. All right, hold on there, we're getting close. Hold on. Okay, so anyway, at the base of your spine, you have the 7 chakras, right? Okay, but before we get into the chakras, remember on the last couple episodes when I was telling you guys about the Christ oil? And it's basically your sexual juices. All right, you want to save those, and basically when you're meditating, you want to, what in the heck? You want to try and bring that Christ oil all the way up into your head, into your pineal gland. All right, but here's the catch. Okay, so who's ever heard of the scripture, or one of the things in Revelation where it says only 144,000 would make it to heaven? Okay, so what they're talking about there with that is, okay, so you have 7 chakras, in your body. Okay. The first one is the root, and that has 4 petals. Okay. The next one is the sacral chakra, and that has 6 petals. The next one is the solar plexus, and that has 10. The other one is the heart with 12, the throat with 16, um, the third eye, which is right here, with 96, and then the crown with 1,000, or the crown equals 1,000. Now, if you take the bottom 6 and add them all together, that equals 144. Okay. And then the last petal, the crown petal, the crown chakra, that's 1,000 petals. So if you times 144 times 1,000, that equals 144. Okay. Now, here's the other thing. When so Solomon's temple is your body. You have those chakras that are also in your body, okay? And then you have how many vertebrae are on your spine? 33. Okay? 33. That is called Jacob's ladder. All right? Jesus died at the age of 33. Okay? And when this oil comes up your spine, it crosses at this thing, it's called the vagus nerve. And that's where they say, that's like Jesus being crucified in your skull. Because where was he crucified? At Golgotha, right? And that means place of the skull. So as you're bringing this Christ oil up, it's basically explaining the crucifixion, right? Because it's coming up, it's it's enlightening you, it's activating your pineal gland. The brain is considered like the upper room where Jesus meets his 12 disciples, and the cranial nerves and the Holy Land. Okay. So your head is heaven, and these are your temples. Okay. Here, I have another picture to kind of help you out with it. Hold on. Okay. So another thing they always talk about, like the land of Israel, right? So half of the left part of your brain is masculine, and the right part of your brain is feminine. So that's conscious and subconscious. And then the center where your pineal gland is, that is called, they call that L. All right. So you have your right brain, IS, your left brain, RA, and then your pineal gland, EL, Israel, the Holy Land. Here, this just to kind of show you a little bit. Oh, okay. So here, let me just read a little bit off of this page here, so maybe you guys can understand a little bit better. So in the Bible, the head is referred to as the upper room where Jesus met his 12 disciples, and the 12 disciples are the 12 cranial nerves in the brain, which are the 12 zodiac signs. So everything about you is divine. Okay, so another thing, our whole entire body is mathematics and made up with the golden ratio and things like that. So the golden ratio is it's basically, they call it like divine proportions. Okay. So examples over the body with that would be from the face, the ratio of the face's height to its width or distance from hairline to nose versus nose from chin often approximates to the ratio. Hands and fingers. Each bone segment in the fingers from the fingertip to the wrist relates to the next by the golden ratio, fitting Fibonacci numbers 2, 3, 5, 8. The forearm length and the hand length also follows this ratio. Arms, legs, eternal structures, everything about you, dude. It's divine. I mean, you could change the molecules in water just by speaking to them. If you speak like let's say you're drinking a bottle of water and you say thank you water, I love you water, refresh, replenish and renourish my body water, thank you, I love you water. If you take a microscope and look at that water, uh it'll 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 look like nice crystals and things like that, but if you say um negative things, it's going to look terrible. This is proven by science. Okay. So, like I'm saying, everything about you is absolutely 100% divine. You are God. All right. Here's a couple scriptures for you just to kind of. So, what we were just talking about, okay? The Christ oil, how it starts from the base of your spine and it comes up, all that stuff. Okay. Here's the scripture, Matthew 6:22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, the whole body shall be full of light. So when you're trying to, when you're seeing things through your mind's eye and you raised your uh Christ oil, the Christos, and you're walking around in Christ consciousness, okay, you're full of light, you're starting to do stuff, right? But if thy eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness. How great is that darkness? Okay, and here's just um one more. Uh John 10:34. Um oh yeah, I wrote, wait. Oh yeah, John 10:34 right here. Jesus answered them, is it not written in your law that you are gods? I, I mean, how many times? So, like I've been saying before, man, we have to stop living in fear. We have to stop living in anger and lack and all this stuff. And we need to start understanding how powerful we are and how divine we are and how the light is within us. Any answer that you have a question to, dude, it's right here. You just have to open up your heart and your mind, and you gotta start studying, you gotta start reading, you gotta start meditating. Okay. Um one thing I wanted to say, and you know what? Let me just read this real quick and then I'll continue with this. So I wanted to read this because I was reading this the other day and it just I don't know, it kind of lined up with me and it made a lot of sense to me what's going on about, like, what are you going to feed, man? Are you going to feed the light or are you going to feed the darkness? Are you going to try and lead a life of light, love, truth, being grateful and helping others? Or are you just going to, be selfish? Because I'll tell you, I mean, life is way too short, man. It's way too short, and we got to figure some stuff out pretty quick. But let me read this real quick for you. It's kind of a little bit long, but I think it's pretty good. And this is from the Nag Hammadi scriptures, okay, in the Book of Thomas. It's called "Woes Upon the Godless," and then the other one I want to read is "Blessed are you." Excuse me. All right. So it said, then the Savior continued and said, "Woe to you, godless people, who have no hope, who are secure in things that do not last. Woe to you, who hope in flesh and in the prison that will perish. How long will you sleep and think that what is imperishable will also perish? Your hope is based upon the world, and your God is this present life. You are destroying your souls. Woe to you with the fire that burns within you. It is insatiable. Woe to you because of the wheel that turns in your mind. Woe to you because of the smoldering within you. It will devour your flesh visibly, tear your soul secretly, and prepare you for each other. Woe to you, prisoners, for you are bound in caves. You laugh, you rejoice in mad laughter, but you do not perceive your destruction. Neither do you perceive your plight, nor have you understood that you dwell in darkness and death. Rather, you are drunk with fire and full of bitterness. Your hearts are deranged because of the smoldering within you. The poison that blows of your enemies are a delight to you. Darkness has risen in you like the light, for you have surrendered your freedom to slavery. You have darkened your hearts and surrendered your minds to foolishness. You have filled your minds with smoke of the fire within you, and your light has been hidden in the dark cloud. You love the garment you wear, although it is filthy, and you have been gripped by non existent hope. You have believed in what you have believed in what you do not know. You have believed in what you do not know. You all live in bondage, but pride yourselves on freedom. Oh, dude, that's a bar. Um, you have baptized your souls in the water of darkness. You have pursued your own wishes. Woe to you who dwell in air, not seeing that the light of the sun, which judges the universe and looks down on the universe, will encircle everything to make slaves of the enemies. Nor do you perceive how the moon looks down night and day, seeing the bodies of your slaughters. Woe to you who love intercourse and filthy association with female, and woe to you because of the powers of your bodies, for they will mistreat you. Woe to you because of the actions of evil demons. Woe to you who entice the limbs of fire, who sprinkle a restful dew on you to extinguish many fires within you and your burning, Who will make the sun shine on you to dispel the darkness within you and hide the darkness in filthy water? The sun and the moon will give a fragrant aroma to you, as will the air, the spirit, the earth, and the water. If the sun does not shine on these bodies, they will rot and perish just like weeds or grass. If the sun shines on them, they grow strong and choke the grapevine. But if the grapevine becomes strong and casts its shadow over the weeds and all the rest of the brush growing with it, and spreads and fills out, it alone inherits the land where it grows and dominates whenever it has cast its shadow. So when it grows, it dominates the whole land, and it's productive for its master and pleases him greatly. He would have gone to great pains because of the weeds before pulling them out, but the grapevine by itself disposed of them, choked them, and they died and became like earth. Jesus continued and said to them, "Woe to you, for you have not accepted the teaching, and those who wish to accept it will suffer when they preach. You will persecute them, but you will rush into your own traps. You will cast them down to the lions and put them to death daily, and they will rise from death." All right. Now here's the blessed are you part. Blessed are you who understand beforehand the temptations and flee from things that are alien. Blessed are you who are mocked and are not respected because of the love your master has for you. Blessed are you who weep and are oppressed by those who have no hope, for you will be released from all bondage. Watch and pray that you may not remain in flesh, but that you may leave the bondage of the bitterness of this life. And when you pray, you will find rest, for you have left pain and reproach behind. When you leave the pains and the passions of the body, you will receive rest from the good one. You will reign with the king, united with him, and he with you from now on and forever. Okay. So, dude, you are one of the most powerful individuals in the universe. You have to understand that you got to go searching within, man. I can't I can't do it for you. You have to do it. But I want to say this, man. And I think I said this on the last episode or whatever, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to say it again. Life is way too tough, man, and way too hard as it is already. So don't make it any harder and fill your heart with gratitude and pour love into the ones that love you. Okay, let me share a story with you real quick. So, when I first got the news almost a year ago yesterday or a year ago, when I got the news, I thought I honestly, dude, I thought I was dead because I didn't think they were going to give me another one, dude. I honestly didn't. I really, really, really didn't. I didn't think they would give me another organ. I thought that it was just one and done, man. But I'm very grateful that they did. And when I was sitting in that hospital bed and they told me I needed another kidney transplant before I found out that I was eligible and I could get one and all this stuff, I was just thinking to myself, I was thinking, damn, I really wasted my life, dude, because I was just sitting there and I was thinking, if this is it, dude, I didn't do anything. All my hopes, my dreams, my aspirations, my goals, things that I wanted, I didn't accomplish nothing, dude. and I was sitting there, and I just felt like all that stuff was looking at me, and I didn't it hit me like like a ton of bricks, man, that life is just way too short, and the only thing that matters is loving and pouring love into the people that love you, and you gotta love them like today's like the last day, dude, because it might be. You don't know, and it's just I thought I thought I was done for, man, and I thought I was smoked, and now that, I have an opportunity to, continue living my life, I'm living it without any fear. I am I am going to do whatever I can to just put as much love, compassion, understanding, and helping others out there as I possibly can. And I'm gonna do something to contribute to trying to make this world a better place instead of just sitting around and watching the world burn with everybody else. You know what I mean? So um, that's where I'm at, man. I just all I want to do is just bring people together, help us all realize that we're all the same, man. You know, consciousness doesn't have a color, uh, and neither does love. So let's just love one another, have some understanding, some compassion, be grateful for your life and the things that you have, because it could be gone, man. And I would highly suggest if you're not doing it to start opening your heart and learning to love and learning about yourself and meditating and living in abundance, man, because everybody deserves abundance. Everybody deserves to be loved, and that's all anybody wants is to be loved and valued, right? So, I mean, I think if we could all just do a little bit for one another, man, we can make a big difference. But we'll see. We'll see. um, coming up, I wanted to do maybe one more interview with Jill before the surgery because last time when we did the interview with Jill, we weren't we weren't even sure if she was the donor or anything like that, but we know that now. So I think it'd be good to maybe kind of check in with her and get her thoughts and things like that. And, we'll go from there. And yeah, man, I'm getting excited. We're getting close. So I will see you guys in a couple days. I hope that everybody has a wonderful week, a week full of prosperity, abundance, and love. And I'll see you shortly. All right. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.